Hi, everybody. Joe Cioffi here. Weather in 5 days and 5 minutes. Just going to spend a little bit of time on Tropical Storm Hilary, which is formed in the East Pacific. Now, we don't normally spend a whole lot of time on East Pacific systems, but this one is a bit special because it's forecast to become a hurricane very quickly and also become a major hurricane. It's moving over waters where the water temperatures exceed 86 degrees, which is supportive of a major hurricane. And then it's forecast to turn northwestward, parallel to the west coast of the Baja Peninsula. And at the end of the forecast period, which is 1 a.m. Monday, the Hurricane Center has a post-tropical storm sitting not too far south of San Diego, or at least the center of it, not too far from San Diego. This is going to bring heavy rains to Southern California and the Southwest. There's no doubt of that, regardless of what this does as far as being tropical or non-tropical. And you can see the forecast from the weather prediction folks, Southern California, forecasting as 5 inches of rain plus in some areas, and a large area of 3 inches plus extending into southern Nevada. And then it tails off a little bit, but still sizable rainfalls in the western half of Arizona and then up the Sierra Nevada. So this is definitely going to be a big rainmaker. As far as the system being technically tropical going into California, there have only been two. One was back in 1858 into Southern California, and another one in 1939. So this is a pretty rare event, a very rare event if this were to maintain tropical characteristics all the way up. But it's still very, very interesting. And certainly you see on the satellite loop, Hillary is organizing fairly quickly south of the southwest coast of Mexico offshore, and on that track toward the west-northwest to northwest. The Hurricane Center has it moving west-northwest at 14. It's at 12.4 north, 102.6 west. It just became a tropical storm, but it's forecast to become a hurricane by Thursday morning and forecast to become a major hurricane by Friday evening. And again, you see the track there parallel to the west coast of the Baja Peninsula. And just to give you a view of the hurricane track model guidance, it's all, except for one outlier that's further offshore, they're all fairly well clustered toward the Baja Peninsula. And then you have a number of the members taking it right along the coast of Southern California and then inland from there. So again, to emphasize that whether it's tropical or not, I think the more important thing here is going to be the big rains that they're going to see there come late in the weekend and early next week. Meanwhile, we've broken out to mostly a nice late afternoon and evening in the Northeast, with the exception of interior New England, where the clouds are dense, and we also at least not seeing much in the way of thunderstorms today at all, which is a good thing. But if you look up to the northwest, approaching Minnesota and Wisconsin, there is another cold front, and this one is going to be important because this is going to eventually clean house in the eastern part of the United States, and it's going to bring in a nice dry air mass for later Friday night, and into the start of the weekend. And a lot of that dry air is going to spread fairly far to the south, which is always a good thing. The radar as of 4 p.m. Eastern Time just showing some scattered showers of thunderstorms in upstate New York and some scattered showers up in Maine. We're seeing some heavier thunderstorms along coastal North and South Carolina, down into southern Georgia, and we've got clusters of thunderstorms going on in Florida. And then with that next cold front, we have some showers and storms that are swinging through Minnesota and moving eastward. The Storm Prediction Center has a slight risk of severe weather in that area up in Minnesota and northwestern Wisconsin. Tornado risk there is 2%. We have for tomorrow just a risk of maybe some general thunderstorms in the east, but there's a marginal risk with that cold front in Michigan and up into northwest Ohio and eastern Indiana. And then they have it for Friday, where they have a marginal risk from southern Maine to Connecticut and central and eastern Long Island and southeastern New England. I think this is probably going to be more later Thursday night through Friday morning. And then things may start to tail off as we go into Friday afternoon. I don't think they're going to expand this area further west, at least from what I'm seeing at the moment. So let's look at the GFS and we'll see what it did today. And you notice there's nothing really going on in the Northeast tonight into tomorrow. You get just some scattered showers around well inland during the late afternoon and evening. The frontal boundary that's offshore is just sort of hanging there, waiting for this cold front to move east. And then during Thursday night, it starts to generate some showers and thunderstorms. By Friday morning, most of them are in New England, and we're starting to see improving weather conditions on a northwest wind. And look at that big high, relatively speaking, for this time of year in Indiana, keeping much of the eastern half of the United States dry. And then we go into Saturday, which looks like a very nice day, maybe some scattered showers up in northern New England with the upper trough. And then on Sunday, we're going to begin to warm up in the east with a west wind. So Saturday highs, for example, will be in the upper 70s and low 80s. Sunday will probably be mid to upper 80s. And I think Monday we could see some 90-degree highs. And just as you think that maybe we may be going into a several-day stretch of 90-degree weather, there's another cold front that comes through Monday night, early Tuesday morning with another dry air mass behind it. So it looked like this might set up for a long week of heat coming up for next week. But models have now keyed in on the idea, which has been really the story all season long, in that the northern part of the jet stream is just too active, and it keeps sending weather systems southeastward, and it keeps bringing cold fronts eastward, and that is beneficial. Now, I just want to show you lastly this dew point map where we're staying humid through tomorrow and into Friday morning. And then starting Friday afternoon, the dew points will begin to collapse. You can see the dew points back in Pennsylvania through back to the Ohio Valley and the Great Lakes in the 40s and 50s, and they push eastward and southward for Friday night into Saturday morning. That dry air gets pretty far down into Georgia, Alabama, and Mississippi. We see dew points in the upper 40s and low 50s a Saturday morning into the afternoon. Still holding on to some low dew points on Sunday. They'll come up, but they'll still be on the lowish side. And then we'll start to see those dew points come up much more as we move into Monday and early Tuesday before that next push of low humidity comes in for the middle part of next week. The Joe and Joe Weather Show tonight is at 7:35 p.m. Eastern Time. Mark it down. We'll see you then.